Hello, my name is Terry. This video will cover the investigation that occurred at the Long Banta Mansion on Saturday, October 17th, 2020. All of the following video clips will be arranged by site location within the mansion. The first clip was recorded in the main floor just outside the door of the basement entrance, going to the lower level. This one said jump off. It doesn't seem to be related to anything, and it doesn't relate to any conversation anyone was having. I don't know what the significance of this phrase is or why it's saying this. Also want to move another one of these chairs so I can get the door open a little wider.
What is it?
The next voice is not an EVP voice, but a disembodied voice. The difference is that disembodied voices are actually heard by human ear and not on the retrieval of the playback of the video. We were both just casually walking along having a conversation in the main hallway when we heard this voice speaking, but neither of us could make out a word of what was being said, but we know we heard someone saying something.
I just found out about the hot chocolate. Greg Tuberker may have gotten the last of it. That's why they ran
You all
out.
got the last of it?
Yeah. They'll refill it though.
Yeah.
Those people there are really on top of things. Did you just hear something say? Is it?
Yes, I did.
We felt like we were being watched down in the basement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was just like looming over us.
Yeah.
I think I might have gotten it saying no whenever I said it. It didn't want me to record whatever it was.
Yeah, it said no.
It said no.
No.
This clip contains an unusual EVP voice. What was strange is that we just heard the basement door slam on its own and had gone to investigate. I turned the camera back on, but by this time it was too late to capture the recording of the door slamming. But this was witnessed by several people within the mansion.
Yeah. This door just slammed while we were all in there and the other two ladies upstairs.
And they heard it slam.
One family who was at the Banta Mansion had been at a previous ghost hunt at the Tri-County truck stop. I had loaned them out my Ovilus device, and it had done some very peculiar things. He'll explain what had happened in the clip following this initial clip. What I want you to pay attention to is that it had said the word finger on the Ovilus, and then if you look at his finger, which I videotaped after it had said this, his finger is seriously injured. It had noticed this and had commented on it through the Ovilus.
Do a close-up of the injury on your finger?
Yeah.
But it's interesting that the Ovilus said finger, and it knew that you had a problem with your finger. It was
Right.
trying to specifically communicate. And it also predicted he wanted to win the raffle.
Yeah, I asked it. I was like, hey, if you want to prove to me your existence, because I'm still kind of doubting, will you cheat? I was like, will you make me win the raffle? And it said cheat, win. First one to get called out.
This clip was recorded in the master bedroom. It's a voice saying, "Get out." This is very common at haunted locations. The most common phrases spoken are help, help me, and help us. But the phrase "get out" was definitely on the top 10 most spoken EVPs at haunted locations.
Oh, I got a lot of over here.
All of the following footage took place in or around the attic area. Up in the attic are two Joker ghosts who like to play games on people, and they're very smart and they're tech savvy. They're very good at manipulating and controlling equipment.
Okay, the attic. The what?
Trunk room.
Oh, yeah, trunk room.
The trunk room. I hear
I feel like off balance in here.
Yes. Last night, there were two women up here, and one of them got touched on the top of their head.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
After that happened, she wouldn't come back up here.
In the next clip, one of the two ghosts says the phrase, "Terry's going to find it." He's not referring to finding a body in the basement or recovering the lost money in the 1930s bank robbery in Potosi. He's referring to that when I play back the video footage and he's mentioning my name, that I will find the clip with him speaking my name. He wants to make sure that we know that we're dealing with the same individuals we've done in the past.
We're gonna start up here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can go to the basement?
Go to the basement. All right, let's go.
You guys want to split up or stay together?
Yes, and if you want any more equipment, just let me know.
Okay.
We have a little bit of our own.
Okay.
The next clip is very significant. Two women are alone in the attic conducting an EVP session. One of them makes a very common sense question to the other, asking if they should use the laser pointer aiming at the stairway to the attic to see if anything comes up the stairs, which is a very common sense, logical place to aim the laser pointer, when the ghost speaks up in frustration and almost like a contempt that it could actually be fooled by one of these devices, and you'll hear it say Jesus, and it does it in such a way that you can tell that it's very almost offended that someone could think that they would be able to trick this ghost into allowing itself to be seen by one of these devices.
Where do you want me to aim it toward the stairs?
Yeah.
There's your K2. It's just steady green. It just depends on the way I hold it too. It's just weird.
One family spent most of the time in the attic, and it paid off for them. The ghosts in the attic paid a particular attention to them and were interacting with them throughout the night. You'll notice that one ghost is very friendly toward them and wants to communicate, and the other one wants nothing to do with them. This is consistent with some of the activity that we've had in the attic previously. Some of them are angry and don't want you up there, and others are anxious to communicate.
Right up here.
Yes, Kobe, Jesus.
Don't be so scared.
Well, it straight up said sacrifice once I got by myself, so.
I was scared coming up here by myself.
Yeah, it's pretty active. It's active.
Sacrifice,
What is
drunk,
it? Turn
and
on the bill
swim.
light here. No, it's not because it's stopped.
Okay, I'm gonna turn on. All right, we're recording in the attic.
I just got a cold chill, you guys.
Okay.
Will you talk to me, or would you like to talk to someone else? Are you having trouble communicating to us through that?
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Hi. Kobe, point it over here. You just said hi back. Hi.
And then I got up here and it said slave and slain.
Go stand in front of the red light.
Did it really go off over there?
Going up to orange.
So
It's on orange now.
Fish continued.
I need to give you some background information because this is not shown in the video. The father of the family was up in the attic with the ovulus, and the ghosts up there were doing something very unusual. It was cycling through all the different words of the vocabulary of the ovulus, trying to learn the dictionary of the ovulus. It was almost like studying the device, and it was channeling through him to study how to speak through this device. It was very extensive, and it went on for a long period of time where it was just rattling off one word after another in random order. It seemed like whatever it was figuring out what it needs to do to say specific words, which will follow up in a few minutes.
Were you one of the families that lived here by choice? Or did you have to?
Is that your camera?
That's Elise.
Her name is Mike.
That's what she said, yeah, I heard it.
Continued to stay.
Fire.
Nine.
Healer.
It's going off. It's going off.
I need to hear back from this family about the voices they captured on their voice recorder. They captured some good EVP voices, and you'll hear them on my camera capturing what they'd caught on their playback. and I'd like to have the original copies for comparison.
Gail. Known.
Wait, what was the lady's name that was here?
Gail. Her name was Gail. Yes,
I think there was a Gail that was married to the law guy. Wasn't
There
it?
was a Gail, yeah.
Wasn't she the one that was married to him? I thought it said something.
That's weird. Can you make that go off?
There you go. Thank you. Keep standing in front of it. Can you make it turn blue? It's supposed to turn blue though.
One interesting point that happens now is that now that I'd learned the dictionary of the ovulus and studied it, when he had tripped on a spoon on a tea set that had been placed on the floor, it used a bit of British slang to comment on it. It's a British phrase, and that would tie in with the tea set because the British are strongly associated with tea drinking, and it would come up with a phrase like this. I think it was trying to let him know that it had studied the vocabulary of the ovulus and was now trying to communicate with him using phrases that it had just learned.
What I hit? Oh, why? What does that mean? Oi! Were you saying that because I hit? Because I hit whatever that thing there is? What the heck is it? I have to look it up.
Hearing footsteps in the attic is very common, and it happens in one of two ways. You're either ascending the stairs and you'll hear footsteps coming up right behind you, or you'll already be in the attic and you'll hear footsteps coming up the stairway, and when you go look down the stairwell, you'll notice that there's no one there. Well, I happen to catch this on video. While the one young man is coming up the stairs, footsteps are pursuing him up the stairway. I have it repeated after he's already upstairs and in the attic, where you can hear the footsteps are continuing on the stairway, even though no one is moving around in the attic and there's no one in the stairway.
But it's me, dude.
Here.
I heard steps behind me.
Can you turn this on, Shannon?
There is steps behind you. There's still something going.
Can you turn this on, Shannon?
There is.
Can you turn this on, Shannon?
There is.
Can you turn this on, Shannon?
There is.
Yeah,
He
we're
said
pretty
that
sure
the
that we were
he said that
talking
the
to a
basement
demon
door
up there, too.
slammed, and that's where I felt the most uncomfortable all night. But then we went back down there and it felt completely different.
Is anyone up here? Are you making it beep? Was this your room? Can I see the ovulus? Are you making it beep? Are you making it beep? Just beeps again. Okay, you can make it stop beeping now. We know that you're here. Thank you.
Whoa.
I swear it's real cold over here. Is this where you're at?
You got anything to say to me? You were messing around with me when I was up here by myself.
Where you at? Right here.
Surely you got something you can say.
I'm scared.
Can you start back up?
Can you make the REM pod go again? Make it go beep? I know you thought it was funny because it freaked me out.
No, yeah, like I said, and it all started on here. It said haunting. That was the first word, and then everything started.
Then it started.
Yeah.
Elise, come feel this.
Just see if it keeps
It's really cold right over this. Do you feel it?
It is, yeah. Oh yeah.
Compared to the
Like
rest
it's
of the room?
like I'm really feeling cold right now.
It is cold right there.
No, right here.
Yeah, I know, like right on the REM pod.
On the ghost box, a voice now begins to talk about a person who had just left. His name is Clay. He and his wife had just left for the night, but they had done an EVP session up in the attic. It's pretty long, and what I want to do is have it as a standalone video, so it won't be featured in this video. But they had quite a bit of stuff captured, and it's trying to make contact with them or pass an information along to Clay.
I can do this.
Did that say Clay? That's the name of the one man who just packed up and left.
Really?
If you have a message for Clay, I'll pass it along.
Yeah, it wasn't doing anything for you. You can gather strength, because the other people were doing it too.
David again.
I'm telling you, why does David keep popping up?
It's David
everywhere?
and Mike that keep popping up.
It was just talking about pacing.
Yeah.
You saw
So
the
you're
light
going at a
again?
slower pace now that you know the vocabulary. It is freezing over here.
I'm warm.
I'm really cold.
I'm fine, actually. It creeped out the most when we first were here, and then we came back, it felt completely different.
You want us to
But-
leave?
No, it's got to say something to you before I do anything.
I'm not going to do anything.
All right.
It said slave earlier, and that could have been the maid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you the maid?
Whenever I was going up there, it also said slave and then slain. Were there?
Well, actually, the maid, wasn't she technically a slave?
Yeah.
She was a slave, yes.
In the final clip of the night, something very unusual happened. They had thanked the ghosts for communicating with them, and the ghost replied directly back to them, saying, "Thank me?" It was caught off guard that they'd be so polite about communicating with them. It's a very unusual interaction.
Okay, well, the last person needs to latch the door.
Oh, okay.
Soon. All right.
So
So you'll
shut
shut
it
it soon.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for talking. It was nice to meet you.